Hey guys, welcome back to another video today. So today's learner driver Tommy passed at Tottenham Driving Test Centre with our team on his first driving attempt. So for the viewers that are watching today that would like to have a mock test or a general driving lesson in a safe and supportive environment, please find our details listed on the screen above. Feel free to contact us or message us directly on WhatsApp or SMS. So guys, when exiting the parking bays in Selby Centre, there are some vigorous speed bumps, so I would strongly advise all test candidates to drive under 5 miles per hour with these speed bumps. It will vary though depending on the vehicle you are learning in. Now it's very important as you're exiting the Selby Centre that you're looking for anyone that could potentially be entering the car park, and then you'll need to assess the situation and assess their body language. But ideally, guys, you do want to be a defensive driver. So always remember, guys, be a defensive driver and assess the situation. As you can see, once you're exiting the car park, visibility is slightly restricted ahead. So what I do tell my students to do is once they exit the car park to position to the left, as the candidate has done here, just so it better enhances their visibility, and then you can actually forward plan for meeting situations. So in the DL25 exam sheet, this showcases a high level of awareness and anticipation. And as you can see here now, the candidate has obviously acknowledged the meeting situation and the vehicle ahead can proceed happily. And then at the end of the road, the sat nav will say bear right. Sometimes the sat nav may not recognize the junction. However, the examiner will obviously intervene here and mention to you that you will be turning at the first junction, left or right. So guys, please do make sure that you're aware of that. Now, on this occasion, the examiner instructed the pupil to turn right. Obviously, guys, what you need to be mindful of is sometimes visibility can be slightly restricted on the left due to parked cars. So if that is the case, then remember to use the peep and creep method. And obviously, the larger routine, look, assess, decide and act. And then the pupil is coming up to a mini roundabout. So how we can identify that we're coming up to a mini roundabout is the blue circle sign with the 3 white arrows. What you want to ask yourself the question on approach to any roundabout is whether the roundabout in terms of visibility is open or closed, because that will then dictate your approach speed and how to obviously approach the mini roundabout. Also, whenever entering and exiting a road, guys, make sure you remember your new road, new mirrors to assess what's happening behind you, as well as to look for new signs, because typically there tends to be a speed change whenever you enter and exit new roads or pass in intersections. The candidate was then instructed to pull up on the left in a safe place. Now, for those of you that are watching this video or are new to my channel, I have got a video of an ex-DVSA driving examiner where it clearly explains the different types of stops you will do on your driving test. So for more information in that, guys, just click on my channel and you'll be able to find that video. The examiner then instructed the candidate to drive on when they're ready. Now, guys, make sure you remember whenever you're instructed to drive on, you're assessed against moving away, safety and control. So do make sure to carry out all around effective observation and to move away when it is safe to do so. Now, do bear in mind that many candidates have asked me recently, is a signal required to move away? The answer for that is if you deem anyone will benefit from a signal, then you should signal when moving away. If there's no one around that's going to benefit from a signal, then you don't need to signal. However, for good practice, you can signal. The candidate is then coming up to a pedestrian crossing. So guys, do you know how you can differentiate the difference between a pedestrian traffic light and a normal traffic light? For those of you that do not know, please feel free to comment on the comment section below and I'll do a separate video in regards to that. The candidate was then instructed to follow the road ahead. Now guys, when following the road ahead, here you've got 2 lanes that are going ahead. So what is the correct lane to choose? And if you were in the right lane, does that pose any sort of problems? I want to test your knowledge out here, guys, and see what you do reply in the comment section. And as you can see, the speed now changes to 30 miles per hour. It's on the road markings. However, if you do go ahead at these set of traffic lights, the speed then goes to 20 miles per hour. So you'll shortly see that in a moment, where it will be 20 on the road marking as well as on the sign. So you can see it right now, guys. So you do need to make sure that you're aware of that. And here the bus had a left signal on. However, people were still getting in and out of the bus. But if you deem that it's not safe to overtake the bus, then you don't need to. When the bus does have a right signal on, guys, do remember that the highway code states that the bus has now got priority. So one thing I would strongly advise candidates to do is whenever there's a bus that's pulled over at a bus stop, how you can dictate if their signal is going to change from a left signal to a right signal is look for if anyone's getting in or out of the bus. If there's no one getting in or out of the bus and their brake lights also disappear, you can anticipate the bus is going to then move away shortly. The pupil was then instructed to take the next road on the left onto Perth Road. Now, when turning onto this road, you need to be very cautious of any pedestrians at the pedestrian crossing. It is advisable on that sort of junction, if you've got good local knowledge, to approach that junction if you're driving a manual car in first gear. So it just better allows you to assess what's happening at the crossing. Because guys, do remember, if there's any pedestrian at a zebra crossing, they have got priority. You must give them way.